Hi guys, so a lot of you have asked me to do tutorials and to open a YouTube channel, so here I am giving it a try. On this video, I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to draw faces in a more of a cartoonish way, but still making it look like the person you're drawing. This is a really basic tutorial, and I want to say it's not the only way to do it, it's just the way I do it. And also, I want to say English is not my first language, and I've never done a YouTube video, so I'm sorry if this is awkward or if I have a weird accent. That's just life. Yeah, so what we need, first of all, is a really good reference picture. I picked Halsey because I know a lot of you guys who follow me on Instagram are fans of her, so that's why I picked her. And we need a picture in which we can actually see her facial features. Like, for example, what we do first, what I usually do first, is try to see how her head is shaped. Not her face, her head. Halsey has a really square face. She has strong jawline and strong cheekbones. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is trying to make straight lines that guide me on how her face and head is shaped. You don't only have to do the face, as you see, I'm doing the hair part too, because that's important to help us see where everything is placed. Also, placing the ears is really helpful because it also helps us see where everything is at. So what I did there is lower the opacity of the first layer and add a new one and paint on top of it. So I'm adding more detail, and what you need to have in mind when drawing this kind of portraits is that the parts of the face that have less information are the ones we tend to make smaller. Like, for example, on the forehead, there's nothing on it, so we tend to make it smaller. So yeah, have that in mind. Also, when I'm doing the brows, I tend to make them fuller and thicker than they actually are. This is not something you need to do. This is just something I do because I think it makes it look cuter and softer. I don't know. So yeah, what I'm doing next is her nose. In my opinion, Halsey's nose is one of the most recognizable features on her face. It's really round and tiny and cute. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. You need to have in mind that when drawing her features, the ones that are more recognizable, as her nose, for example, are the ones that need to look more like the real thing. So there I'm doing a little sketch on how the nose is shaped. It's kind of a triangle, and also the mouth is a triangle too, in which it's fuller in the center and then it gets thinner as it gets to the sides. So yeah, the good thing about using digital painting for this is you can always move things afterwards if you don't like the way it looks. Like, for example, if I'm doing the mouth and I don't like how it looks, I can always delete it or move it around and it doesn't ruin the picture. So yeah, here what I'm doing is her lips. As you can see, I'm moving things around and just making sure I like the way it looks. So yeah, then I'm gonna do, I think, yeah, I'm adding a little detail, her earrings, her necklace, a little bit of her hair, and then I'm going on to her eyes. I usually make their eyes look much bigger than they actually are. I tend to make them way too big, but I just like the way it looks. I don't know. But for this one, it's just, they're big. They're bigger than they actually are on her face, but they're not that big. Yeah, I just like the way they looked. And here you can see I'm doing what I said earlier, that I can move around things if I don't like the way they are placed. So yeah, basically that's pretty much it. You just need, I'm adding detail like the freckles, and yeah, you just have to have in mind that the facial features that are more characteristic are the ones that need to look more like the real thing. That's the best advice I can give you, basically. Also, I like to do this in which I add a darker background and I use the same tool, which is the area